The person dead, you know?
Bucklet.
Welcome to Crime Time News and Entertainment with a Buzz. This one is called Dumb and Dumber and Dumberest Jamaican Style. I am speaking about two youths. The victim's name O'Neal McDonald. The shooter's name is Andre Wranglin. Apparently, a couple of days before Mr. McDonald lost his life, there was some sort of verbal altercation that led to some sort of physical, in which a toll was drawn and Mr. McDonald was conned up at least 10 times. Based on what the Popo say, yes, these men have been going back and forth at it over some 21-year-old lady. Apparently, Mr. Wranglin, his girlfriend used to date that girl. Apparently, she left and she went with Mr. O'Neal McDonald, her present boyfriend. So it seems as if after that dispute, Mr. Wranglin, Andre, that is, decided he wanted to go back for some sorts of reprisal, because it seems as if Mr. McDonald won the girl and also won the previous fight. So therefore, this was going to be the get back. It is said that Mr. McDonald rolled up at some sorts of apartments, Lux apartment at Breakfast Point, it is called, in a Panama City that is in Florida. I guess he was in his vehicle waiting that young lady and the man, meaning Mr. McDonald's. As soon as he saw them, he rushed down on Mr. McDonald, blazed him up a couple of times. It seems as if the young lady saw and heard the commotion and knew exactly what to do. She took care of herself and she ran into the apartment. Apparently, the suspect, who was dating her at one time, because that is how the whole dispute started, knew exactly where she lived. It is said that after Mr. Wranglin, Andre, that is, blaze up Mr. O'Neal McDonald at least 10 times. Him then eject that magazine, select a next magazine, and he went for the young lady. However, she was on the opposite side of the door. She locked the door. However, him blaze up some can, she was hit. No sorts of life-threatening wounds. Based on information, it is said that after Mr. Andre Wranglin blazed up that lady and took away this youth, he then called a young man, Devon Jones, who happens to be in the area, have some sorts of apartments. It is said that Devon Jones then picked up Mr. Wranglin, took him to his apartment. When he went to the apartment, he then drove him to some sorts of hotel. That was where Mr. Devon threw away the tool that was used in the MURDA and Pi up. Yesterday in the video that I did, I told you about a next suspect, a facilitator of the crime. His name is Mr. Ricardo Golden. Based on the information, it is said that after Devon Jones picked up Mr. Wranglin, took him to his apartment, they then left that apartment, went to some sorts of hotel. That was where Mr. Jones dispersed or dashed with the tool that was used in the commission of the crime. They then called Ricardo Golden, whose mugshot is presently on the screen, and he took them to Alabama. However, Mr. Ricardo Golden was held, and then Mr. Wranglin and also Mr. Jones were held in Alabama. So therefore, they were fugitive for a couple of hours, a day or two at the most. Now, people, do you see why America is considered a place that is safe to raise family? Because the crime fighters are serious about crime. Because you can commit a crime in a one state, being Florida, and then run to a next state, being Alabama, which is just up the road anyway. But I say this to say that when it comes to Jamaica, you could be a menace to society, a Don, notorious takeaway person. Commit a crime, even MURDER, at the top of your lane, and then live at the bottom of the lane, and the popo would not find you while you are walking up and down in plain view every day. So it shows you this is all about top intelligence gathering, law enforcement at its best versus law enforcement at its worst. No sorts of effort, no sorts of care. So when we think about the fact that Mr. Wrangling took away Mr. McDonald over some sorts of woman, over some sorts of fight, because of jealousy and obsessiveness, these youths are shaky to begin with. But when we look at the fact that Mr. Devon Jones and Mr. Ricardo Golden just facilitated some sorts of silly MURDER because it is their friends, our friend. Now people, if you ask me, I have some very good friends that we've been friends from primary school, high school, back in the neighborhood where we used to live, back in America where people live right now. If me ever put myself in any sorts of BS, and these are friends that I can depend on until the end, a friend like Chucky, not like that, but you get the points. But I could never think to call them. I would never think to do no sorts of DUMSHIT and then expect my friends to facilitate. That is called selfishness. However, when it comes to Jamaican, because them say them a gangster and them friend claims say them a gangster, however, them a fight over some sorts of woman, over some sorts of pumps. And then this man take away the next man because the next man beat him up and take away him girl. Then him can call two other idiots and tell them, say, put me up in your apartment and take me to Alabama from Florida. That is why I said this is called dumb, dumberer, and dumbest. At the end of the day, Mr. Wrangling is charged. Everybody get catch for MURDER, pie out being of the attempted type. And then the others are charged with facilitating some sorts of MURDER, accessory to MURDER. People, you can't make this BS up. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, the video that you just saw on your screen, is of a new Clark store that just opened in Jamaica. Based on information that I am getting is that Vybz Cartel is going to be some sorts of brand ambassador. Now, if we remember, a couple of years or so ago, it is said that Popcorn Dancehall artists got some sorts of brand deal, some sorts of endorsement, and he was supposed to be some sorts of ambassador by an artist, dancehall artist that is. Well, people, that might have been true. However, when Vybz Cartel is out, he is the most influential person in a dancehall, definitely. Maybe one of the most influential artists in our music, totally. And person are going to say, but wait a minute. These corporate entities never usually entangle with people with any sorts of criminal allegations on their name. But people, the truth and the fact is that Vybz Cartel is a different type of animal. Vybz Cartel has pulling power beyond the average person, especially in Jamaica. So at the end of the day, it is because morality and ethics is going to be out the door and money is always the motive. And at the end of the day, the fact that he is now no sorts of criminal, and people, let me make this clear, this is my disclaimer. I am not saying that there are no sorts of allegations against him. I am just saying a man is innocent until proven guilty. Even if the court of public opinion thinks that he is, it is the court that makes a final decision, and that decision is final. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called Frazzle got frazzled out by the special operation Popo. Now people, don't know if you've been paying any sorts of attention, but it seems as if the Spanish town St. Catherine Popo specifically, Christopher Phillips have been on some sorts of wipeout campaign. In a Linseed, at least 3 people. In a trial, at least 3 people. Fast forward maybe about 24 to 48 hours ago in a place called Newland, which is in St. Catherine, Portmore to be specific. It is said that the Popo went on some sorts of seek and find operation at about 7 a.m. early in the morning, catch the boy them asleep and send them for sleep eternally. Now I don't know if this is more than coincidental, but it is said that upon entering the premises, they saw one Christopher McLean OC Frazzle. When him spot them and their eyes made 4 or 6 or 8 or 10 or 12, depending on how much police he saw. It is said that him dip in him waist, wheel and pop off. Obviously, the pauper were not going to stand there frozen in time. They did likewise return more FIRE. After the smoke cleared, it is said that Mr. McLean was found clutching on to the tool and most importantly, clutching on to his life. They found him with a 9mm with 9 rounds and sent him to the 9 nights. Actually, he was sent to the Spanish Town Hospital. However, you know the script, EDIED during treatment. Them Turk rush him, point blank and period. Moral of the story is this. Youths out there, open your eyes, read the notice board. Get the message in the bottle. Once you are a criminal, you are no longer given the opportunity to face your day in courts. It is judge, jury, and you know the other part, right pan spots. That is a new strategy that is used by the popo these days. They are not trying to waste any sorts of taxpayers' money for you wastemen. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, I cannot say I am shocked. But with all these financial institution OC banks in Jamaica, you would have thought that if you was a criminal, the place that have the most money would be the best place to target. However, those places have security, have cameras up the ASS. So therefore, these criminal elements, petty type, they are looking for the point of least resistance. So therefore, they have now resorted to the mama and papa store, bar, stuff like that. Such is the case in a place called Erie Castle Road that is in St. Andrew in Stony Hills to be specific. Where it is said that a 65-year-old senior citizen man that is, his name is Cartel Wizard, he lost his life in one of these robberies turned DEADLY. It is said that a group of men pull up at this bar, freeze up everybody, put on everybody upon them face who did not run. However, it seems as if them decide to just blaze randomly in at the people when they're on the floor. People them were run. After the smoke clear, Mr. Wizard was hit and also his stepson. The wife of Mr. Wizard said when she came in and heard the bad news and went up there and saw her husband, common law husband, on the floor, she was so distraught because she can't understand. Then hold on a minute. Who could have done this? We've lived across the street in this neighborhood for in excess of 40 years. 2 people in a one family, one time, all because of what? Because of petty robbery, because of couple thousands of dollars in a cash. People lose them life, people get injured, people traumatized. So people, this is why whenever we see the JCF, hold on to these people and give them justice on the spot, or even if them get the Tarzan and James type. We should not throw any sorts of sympathy party. Point blank and period.
Right up a dollar mark. Headshot.
Headshot.
Killer sit down behind him. Rest everything in him head.
Man dead here, so man.
Let her run out.
So the next thing that is popping in the news is based on the audio of a video that you just listened to of an incident that took place off Red Hills Road, close to the bridge before you reach, ironically, Killer Corner. Isn't it ironic that somebody got KILLED on a corner that is known by that name? If you know the history about Red Hills Road, it is like some sorts of WAR zone. Not every place, but a lot of places there. So it seems as if the taximan that you heard, he was the latest victim. And based on what we heard, the purse was in the back seat and pretty much caught him off guard, shocked and awed him in the head, in the cranium. So based on what we've seen in the past, we know that Popo is on the high-risk list as it pertains to carrier. Their lives are always on the line whenever they go out to execute their job or just their daily routine. But it seems as if a taximan's career of lately is also in the high-risk category. Because here you are, driving up and down, picking up all sorts of strangers. Here you are in a place that extortion is very big. If you say the wrong thing to the wrong person or don't pay your dues, like them give you something for put on, you could end up getting shocked and awed. SHOT and DEAD, as in the case of this person. People, it is a very sad state of affair. However, this is a Jamaica that we've now come to expect. Sadly so. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.